first run of the year. And because it's a gas engine, we got to shut the gas off here. This carburetor's been rebuilt so many times. It's gas. I don't think you're ever going to keep the gas in a carburetor, at least the one from the 50s. All right, guys, it's a video update here on this project I have going with the red Cub Cadet 782. All right, so you guys will notice here we have another Cub Cadet. This is a not a red 782, but the parts from this one will create my red Cub Cadet 782, International Cub Cadet 782. This here is a Cub Cadet model 1811, and this is the donation tractor, the parts tractor, whatever you want to call it. And it will be the engine that I need for that one to put that one back together. So I was going to do a series on these as far as like a series of repairs, once part 1, part 2. However, I don't know when I'm going to get to that and be able to do that. So I'm just going to mix this in with my regular videos for now. And then once I start the project, we'll start with that. Okay, so from my understanding, the red Cub Cadet 782s had the KT17 engine. It wasn't that great because it did not have a good pressurized lubrication system. However, this is the 1811, and this came equipped with the 18 horsepower, so it's one horsepower more than the KT17. This is the Kohler Command engine. I'm thinking it's going to fit right in there and work. So, well, my International red Cub Cadet 782 will not be original. It won't have this, the original engine that it came with. It's not 100% original. I think it'll be better with this 18 horse pressurized oil system. It's just like the guy that takes the, well, it'll be better than original with this engine. Just like the guy that would take a D282 out of a 706 and put in a 5.9 Cummins. Is it original? No. Is it better? By miles. So I don't think it's that dramatic, but this is going to be the engine that we're going to use to create this tractor. All right, so you might ask why not just leave it? This tractor actually runs and it drives and it's functional. 630 hours. Everything seems to work on it. Some of the lights even work. Why would I tear apart a perfectly good 1811 Cub Cadet to put it in this here? Well, I don't know. It would be a heck of a lot easier to just run this one, but this is kind of a restoration project here. This one can be nicer. It has the 2 hydraulic valves and it just has a couple more nice things about it than this one. I'm just going to tear it apart and do it, and then go from there. We'll see if we can't make a nice tractor. Now, like I said, these 782 red ones, they're not worth as much as you think. I don't know what happened. I'm thinking, well, let me get into my lawnmower discussion here. I'll try to give the backstory on what's going on with riding lawnmowers and garden tractors. All right, so back in my days at the dealership, zero turns were getting pretty popular. We sold a pile of them. Really, the only people getting riding lawn tractors were the people that had wanted other attachments. They did some gardening. A lot of the old timers didn't want the zero turns until they were starting to get comfortable with them. Cub Cadet had the zero turn with the steering wheel. That was very popular with the older guys that were going from riding mowers to zero turns. So we sold a lot of zero turns, and it was starting to get to the point where zero turn sales pretty well matched riding lawnmower tractor sales. Now today, it's been quite a few years since then. I really think zero turn mowers have outpaced the sales of the traditional riding lawn tractor and garden tractor. Just because zero turns, I mean, they're way more efficient. You don't have to turn near as much. If you have a lot of tight mowing, you can mow around real tight objects. You guys know all this. But I think a lot of what's killing the market as far as riding lawnmowers is the zero turns have taken over. And these are kind of the dinosaurs, I'm thinking. Now, there's still a place for these. I mean, there's just some things you can't do with a zero turn. You can't hook a garden plow on your zero turn and plow your garden. A snow blower is a little bit nicer with a tractor than a zero turn. I'm sure they can put snow blowers on zero turns these days, but it kind of, I think, in my opinion, the popularity and the how good they are. The zero turns are a good product, and I think that's what really drove the price of these things down. And you're finding a lot more of them at a reasonable price. All right, so here's the mower deck too. We do have a mower deck. I believe this is the 44-inch deck. These decks I didn't care for as much. They're not very thick. And when they're thin like this, if you're in some taller grass, they tend to bunch up. That old 1215 Cub Cadet I have, it has a lot higher deck, and it seems like it eats through the grass. These always here just had a tendency to block up if you didn't mow regular. If you mowed pretty regular, you didn't have a problem. And going along with that, what really makes a mower mow nice and do a nice job sometimes has less to do with the style of the deck and more to do with what's called blade tip speed. The tip of the blades, how fast is it turning? Zero turns have an incredibly high blade tip speed compared to these old dinosaurs. These do not spin at the speed of a zero turn. So you're going to have that. I'll give you a story on a zero turn mower here quick. I'd still go with the tractor just because of, I found, not like I said, I don't know if the technology has changed since I think it was a Cub Cadet M60. It was the tank they called them. I was mowing with one of those, and I don't think that model anyway was very good on steep hills. They're good to a point, but when they let go on a hill, they just go. You lose it. And I went down a hill, down a bank, and into the woods, and almost hit a tree. And just because, and I got to tell you, it's very unsatisfying when it is running away and you can't stop it, and you don't have a steering wheel to grab onto. You just have two movable levers. I mean, there's nothing to hold on to. So I'm still kind of, I mean, it depends on your yard. If I had a flatter yard, yeah, I'd like to have a zero turn mower. But when you have uneven terrain, you get a good riding lawn mower, you're in good shape. All right, so that one, that 1811 is missing, or how is it? Yeah, the 782 is missing some pieces that one has, so we'll be able to finish that. I think the rear lights on here, those are missing, so I can take those off. The gas tank is better on that one than it is on this one, so we're going to change that. The only thing I'm wondering is maybe the wiring harness will be different, but the dashes are identical. So I think if we do have to change something with the wiring harness, we'll just take the entire electrical system off of that and engine and put it in here, and vice versa. This dash is cracked, so I'm thinking it might be a total it's going to be a bigger project probably than I think, but we'll try to get this back to life. I have a box of parts here. I don't know what I have and what I don't have. I'm thinking with the two of them, I have enough to make one complete one. So, like I said, these are not very valuable at the moment, I don't think. I see them on Craigslist for $600 around my area. I think anywhere from $600 to about $1,200. $1,200 being in really nice condition. The diesels are still selling strong. If you had the diesel, the Kubota diesel in these, that's the one to have. I do see those every once in a while, but we got a project here, and when I do start this series, I will make it a series. It'll be part 1 through whatever. So, all right, on to the next thing. So like I said, I didn't really explain why I wanted to make the swap. I just, for the sake of doing it, I guess, I just have a red riding mower. I don't know. I don't know why I start these projects, but anyway, to finish things off for today, you guys will notice the shed is changed around a little bit. I did start everything. Every single tractor was started and checked over yesterday. Got the sprayer hooked up. I did bring some of my hay equipment forward here, so it's easier if somebody comes to buy it or to look at it. It's on display instead of stuck in the dark shed in the back. Everything looks good. I did have a guy here yesterday that he wants to buy my 986, and I told him, I said, well, I'm really not interested in selling it just yet. I kind of need it for some odd jobs here or there. Now that I'm not making hay, of course, it is not going to be used hardly at all. But I do need it in the spring if I do any tillage work. If I have anything washed out, I do have that vibra-shank, and I need this to level out ground. No-till isn't the total fix for everything. We do have some fields wash here or there, and the only way to straighten it out is to do tillage to try to level it off. So I'll need it for that. I still have that fertilizer spreader, and we need that on this. That's the only tractor that can run it if I put cover crops out or spread any type of fertilizer. So I'm just not quite ready to sell it yet, but the price of these things has gone up a ridiculous amount, especially if they're nice. And this one's pretty nice. So my trouble is, if I'd want to upgrade to something like in the Maxim line, the 51, 52 series, there is such a huge price gap between this era of tractor, and then you make the jump to like the 90s with, let's say, a 5140 or something like that. I mean, you're going from 15,000 to 38,000, at least here in Pennsylvania. There's no middle ground for horsepower tractors in this range. So I don't know. I think we're going to be keeping her here for a little while yet, but it's nice to know I have a buyer. So, all right, guys, I'm going to leave you there. I will see you on the next video. Everybody have a happy Easter, and spring's coming, so we're going to keep on moving here.